then, so I've got a few stats. We're recording now, guys. We're recording. Got a few stats that I'm going to reel off. So total distance rode from the three lads was 646 kilometers. Ugni, we reckon, got over 200k. Tom got 226k. And Gav got 219k. In the stream, 3,800 people clicked onto it. The total watch time over the 25 hours that we're streaming was 490 hours. The peak viewers at the end was 121 viewers right at the end. And it was watched in 8 countries. So it was UK, US, Australia, Spain, France, Dubai, India, and South Korea. And then the donation during the stream, 256 people donated. During the stream, the total amount that was donated was £7,500. In total, since opening the page in September, 520 people have donated, and the total as of today is £18,082.
That's mega.
That's crazy.
That's mad, isn't it? Mad, isn't it?
Really mad.
So good though.
Which is the most surprising out of that. I think the 490 hours is that's a lot.
I can't believe people wanted to watch us for that long.
Yeah. So that people were saying it was like a car crash. Like it was like you didn't want to watch it, but you couldn't look away.
We've got that as well. There's some of our neighbours were just like you couldn't not watch it. Who'd have thought?
Yeah, it's crazy. But actually, if you like watch like any kind of endurance race, like you go watch like an ultra marathon or an Ironman, they're literally doing the same thing again and again, and it's strangely mesmerizing. I don't know what it is, but like I'll quite happily watch 8 hours of the London Marathon.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Three blokes descending into madness like 24 hours. It's very enticing viewing, I guess.
got a few questions leading on to that. What Thomas just said there. What was the darkest part? So we've got a few questions from the people who watched and stuff. Oh, because I know you had a couple of dark hours. What was the darkest part?
I mean, weirdly enough, for me, the majority of the row was fine, and then it got to hour 23. And honestly, I just got so sad. It was the saddest hour probably of my life, I'd say. It was horrible. And I had to go off the stream. I went to the toilet, screamed in the towel for a little bit, came back. But I don't know what happened then, but time was just going backwards. I remember putting the podcast on and just thinking, this is never going to end. But to be fair, at the end of that, we came out strong. But I just don't know what happened.
Last hour was your best hour, wasn't it, Odie?
Last hour was great. It was just hour 23. Honestly, I just couldn't see it. Just couldn't see the end.
Yeah, mate. I think like I had a dark patch at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then again like the last 4 hours were just like the last 4 hours felt like the previous 20 had done, like all within that little stretch. It was hell.
People who didn't catch the night part of the row, unfortunately we can't access the stream because it was so long, but we had a bit of a quiz from Alex Finkel, which is pretty good, and he also did a good interview in the morning with Alex Gray. How was the quiz, guys? Because I missed it all.
For me, that was the darkest part. Like I felt like I was drunk when he came on, and then I just was not in the mood. I just didn't. It was so good for everyone that came on, and like thank you for everyone coming on at that time in the morning. But I just literally was the last people I wanted to see. Like it was.
I agree with Tom. I actually had to apologize. I was in class on Monday morning teaching a class, and a couple of the girls that came on at like 4 in the morning to do some like skiing and biking with us. And like the last thing I wanted was to talk or see to anyone. And I think I was just really rude to them. I basically ignored that they were there because I didn't know how to deal with them. I felt really wasted, to be honest.
It was a strange sort of strange feeling.
It was just so funny. I genuinely did like the quiz, but when he did it for about the 7th time, I probably wanted to punch him in the face.
Yeah, mate. Delirious as well, wasn't he? Like,
I think there was a moment on the stream where all 3 of us sort of just switched off.
Looked at each other.
It was just them lot speaking on the stream, which I found quite funny.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we had probably 5 lads that came on, 5-6 people, like Finkel, and then Mossy in South Korea and a few others that were doing a quiz. It's kind of like they were on the Skype call with you, and then you were just rowing.
Yeah, it was strange, but
Some dark
One
hours.
effort though. To be fair, from Alex Winkle, it was a great shift from him.
Yeah.
How does that compare? Like, I think obviously the first sort of 10 hours seemed pretty breezy, but the guests we got on, I imagine that made it much easier because it was interesting stuff to listen to or whatever and to interact, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that was like really, really helpful. Like that first 10 hours flew by. Like it was so quick. Like there was loads of really interesting people to chat to, and like it really didn't feel like, I think we weren't at the point where we were hurting really bad at that point. So actually you were able to engage, but I think the moment like you became like a little bit more delirious, a little bit more knackered, like the ability to engage with anyone just kind of was so much effort that like it just almost made it harder after a certain point.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things we didn't really anticipate. It was so good for that first 10 hours, it was up until sort of 12 o'clock for me, where everything was going so sound, and I dare I say I was enjoying it.
Yeah, mate.
It was.
Mate, to be fair, Zaid logged on at like 6 a.m, and he said he logged on and me and Agni just looked completely done in, like we were broken. And then you just looked fresh, apparently. He also told me that next time I saw you both that I needed to apologise because I was just swearing at you and telling you how much I hated you and being really rude. So apologies for that. I really don't remember it, if that helps.
I think you said at the end, Gareth, you cancelled both of their gym memberships and you've done all the rowers.
Yeah, mate, I think I was pretty delirious from about hour 18 onwards.
Well, who came on and said after 21 hours it emulates the feeling of being drunk or something like that? And I think I remember my part because I remember just giggling to myself for a little bit. Just thinking, why am I laughing when I'm in so much pain?
Yeah, mate.
In all fairness,
Go on, Uggs.
I was gonna say when Zayd came on the first time, I reckon that's my favourite part of the row, the Sainsbury's tour.
Yeah,
You'd never think that in reality, but that genuinely gave me so much more excitement.
We had the tannoy, didn't we, in Tesco's or something? Or
It's class.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
I was
watch
loving
him
it.
try and find his rye bread.
Yeah. And then he came on in the morning. It was like, I didn't get anything I needed to. It's just taking us around Tesco's side.
Oh.
The little things.
Yeah.
So going on to like what hurt, a few people asking what did hurt during the row and what like was the most painful bit afterwards, if any.
I mean, my back folded very early on, but I didn't want to complain about it to get too much steak.
Yeah.
But it was just my arse, mate. It was just in so much pain. Like, I think that it actually helped because it made every other part of my body I didn't feel pain anywhere else because it was so bad. But to be fair, I was quite shocked at how like shoulders wise, arms wise, I didn't really hurt that much, which I thought I would have beforehand. But
I think I was aware of like the pain for like the first 10 hours, but it wasn't that bad. And then after that point, I think like I could honestly say that nothing was hurting whilst it was happening, but I was mentally a bit fucked, but my body felt like it wasn't hurt. And it was only like after I'd had a little nap a few hours after finishing and I tried to stand up that I was just like, what the hell is going on? And this might be a little bit too much information, but my ass was raw. Like it was bleeding up until yesterday. Like it was not good. It was not good.
oh,
But I think you lose the pain because like mentally it's so hard that your body just almost shuts the pain out. I think.
I agree with that.
I think it's the same with Gareth. The pain sort of. I think you were in so much pain, you just stopped feeling pain. It was interesting, but yeah. And then the day after, I felt all right actually, and my blister. I had some blisters on my heels, which were pretty bad, and for some reason my fingernails were hurting. I
found that as well. I have no idea why though.
Yeah, that was the strangest thing for me, but apart from that, I felt pretty good, and then just ridiculously tired.
Uggs, you said you were quite angry after, like a couple of days after. I know you went pretty much straight back into work, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I was because even on the Sunday I had to do a course, and then I went back into work, and I was thinking to myself, I feel relatively okay, when in reality I felt so angry, and like any little thing was just really getting to me. It was only when I spoke to Tom, I think it was on Tuesday, and he had like a similar situation. I was like, maybe I should stop being such a prick.
Yeah, mate.
You angry, Michael?
Is slightly angry at my tutorial. It's just not worth getting angry about looking back on. But yeah, Gareth, were you training on the Monday?
I went for a couple of walks on the Monday, and that was all right. And then Tuesday, I was like feeling great. I was like, right, I'm going to go for a run. I'm going to do like a 5K, really, really slow. And I think I managed to run like 1.5 kilometers, and then it was bizarre, like, because my body still felt good, but my mind just wouldn't let me run anymore.
Right.
I don't know if you guys found this, but like actually the body seemed to recover quite quickly.
Yeah.
But my head was just like, it was broken for, I would say, about a week afterwards. Like, I feel like I used up every single ounce of serotonin I had. It completely messed up my sleep. So like I wasn't able to like sleep at regular times. So I think like my cortisone levels, my melatonin levels were just like all over the place. I had no idea what the hell was going on. I was just miserable with everyone for about a week afterwards, I think.
So true. Literally exactly the same. I must have been a horrible person to be around, with my own. But like even at work, I remember at work, because it was obviously I'm still relatively new, and they hadn't really seen the side to me. And I just remember getting a phone call saying, "Is everything okay?" And they're just like, "I don't think so."
Yeah, man. But at the moment, so my wife is like just coming out of her first trimester into her second, and she's got awful morning sickness, and like it's horrible for her. And like this week, I'm like really understanding of it. Last week, I thought she was just attention seeking. I was like, nah, it's not that bad. I've got no time for you at all. And like just had to like stomach it down and like try to like be nice to her. But like, found it really hard. I had to apologize to her so many times. I'm like, I don't know why, but like you're just really pissing me off right now. Everything you're doing is just pissing me off.
Oh wow, you're allowed to. You're allowed. Next question was quite frequent. Anything you do differently? I think Oak silenced a few critics with his sushi that he says went down well, but anything you do differently, food or prep or anything?
Yeah, 100%. I realized way too late that like all the food that I had was like pretty acidic, and like I would have given anything just to like balance my stomach out a little bit. It just like everything felt like really acidic going down, which made it harder to hold. I think Max, who came on, who's from the yard, who runs loads of ultras, was saying that that's quite common, and the way she counters it is she has watermelon, which apparently is really good because it hydrates you loads, and it also like calms down that acidity. So I think that would be the one thing I would change. Everything else seemed to go all right.
Yeah, I think definitely messed up a bit with the nutrition. Just like I had it all there, I just didn't eat it when I was supposed to. I remember Matt coming on and saying, "Oh, you need to eat as much food as you can in sort of the first part of it.
Yeah,
just get like that front loading." And then I got the same as you, where I just had like horrible taste in my mouth for so long. Like the on paper, it sounded so good just having like the carb drinks and things like that. But at 3 a.m, that was genuinely, I think I ate like a pack of Sensations, like just because I needed some sort of salt or anything, just because like
me too. Actually, the Sensations were amazing.
Yeah,
they were the best thing, like the chili ones, just because I needed something that wasn't sweet.
Yeah.
Oaks?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Sushi was great. It helped me out.
I feel like for all the shit that we gave Agni, he nailed
genuinely,
it.
It genuinely was like it was. I think it was. I need something that was easy to eat and I could force down my throat, and it just did the job. So I wasn't actually too bad on the nutrition front. I would talk about prep, but I think actually under prepping for it probably helped me because I just didn't know what to expect. So it wasn't like I was chasing anything. But genuinely on the nutrition side of it, it was actually all right.
And maybe
Bananas were incredible, but apart from that, I don't want to see one ever again. But
maybe the salt you had on or the salt you had on Friday. The
mate, I'm
salt
telling you,
maybe it helped you.
to be fair, I did wee a lot, so that probably did play a part.
Oh man.
So a couple of questions. Max Clem, who came on, shout out to Max, who came on, did a session, and the Harp Boys, and then came on a bit later and got on a bike. Have you been on the rower since, and when are you next going to get on one?
I've actually,
Go on, Alex.
I've actually have been on the road since, just because there's nothing else to do. So, it's surprisingly fun.
Really?
It's probably coming from the angle of someone who couldn't really row before the row, so it's more excitement involved for me. I imagine for you two, as two people who've probably done it for many a year, it's not as much of an achievement.
I mean, I put mine in the back of the truck on Monday morning and got it out of the house, and like I don't intend to look at another rowing machine until lockdown's ended. Like it's done.
I returned mine the day we finished. I think it was like that.
But this is the strange thing, right? Afterwards, like 2 days later, I was in so much pain, and I really, really thought that the only place that I could be comfortable, because I couldn't get comfortable at all, was sat on a rower seat. I really thought that was the only place where I was going to be able, because I feel like I was just so used to being in that position at that point that it was the only place where like pain wasn't going to happen, which is very strange. Maybe it's like Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah. Just pure delirium. I don't think fair enough. So definitely, I feel like it's going to be quite useful when there's a rowing workout coming up in the gym or something like that, and it just puts things into perspective. Like 500 meters is nothing.
100%.
Literally.
Yeah.
So, it might be quite good for that, but that wasn't the intention.
Like that's a kind of an interesting point, like on perspective. I feel like it's changed my perspective of every single physical thing that I do from this point forward. Like nothing seems hard now, which is like a really nice place to be. I mean, it is. I like couldn't run after about a mile the other day, but like mentally going into anything now, nothing seems like it's a big deal, which is kind of a bit crazy, really.
Yeah.
It's quite a good feeling.
Because I think you had the record number of times saying, "Oh, it makes you appreciate how long 24 hours is."
Mate, it does. Honestly, it genuinely does. I was thinking that obviously whilst I was rowing, I was saying it out loud, which was going down well. But I just can't think of having an unproductive day or just missing out on doing something, because I was like, there's so many hours in a day to do something. So it genuinely gave me so much appreciation for time.
There you go.
Yeah,
that sounds so weird saying that out loud, but
I mean that makes way more sense now, like than it did at the time.
Everyone was just like, "Shut up."
Maybe that was my drunk stage.
I think that's classy. You've had that sort of euphoric feeling of it. It's just, who would have thought that would have come from rowing for 24 hours? I think that's like, it's kind of special to sort of definitely puts things into perspective on a personal level, like doing it.
100%.
Yeah.
There's just so many hours in a day.
What's the Benjamin, Ben and a couple of mates, my old schoolmates, they had the stream on from 10 till about 12, and then they was on FaceTime to a few other mates, and I FaceTimed him, and they were all on the beers. So shout out to those boys, giving some decent support, decent hours.
Right,
he asked like, "What's the next challenge? Have you thought of something else? Have you got the bug?"
So I thought that, like, I was actually talking to my brother about this, and I was saying how I thought it was like gonna be addictive, and he was like, "Nah, mate, it's not. Like, you're never gonna want to do anything like this again." But like 3 or 4 days later, I started looking at ultra marathons, and started looking at like just little challenges. Like I thought about maybe running the length of Hadrian's Wall, and bits like that. But I think this is it now. I'm going to want to do something ridiculous every year from this point onwards. But
yeah,
if you guys can think of anything, I'm in. So long as it's not a 24-hour row, I'm in.
I think it was quite funny when all of the guys, the people that we got on, like the World Goose, like the ultra runners and Fergus and people like that,
Yeah.
they all said, "This is it now." Like, you're gonna get addicted. I remember you guys saying like, "Yeah, nah, it's not gonna happen." And
yeah, my little brother was just like, "Mate, it's not going to happen. You're not going to want to do it." Endurance athletes, they just hate themselves too much. There's something in them which just they don't want to allow themselves to be happy, and that's just not you. But I kind of get it now, because like I was miserable afterwards, but like I'm still buzzing from it now. Like it still doesn't really feel like real. It was like a pretty mad thing to do. It was quite nice to achieve it and to get it done.
Yeah, no, I certainly agree.
100%. We can. Mum and Dad were obviously watching it throughout the day and giving me tips on the audio whenever it got cracky or whatever. And we obviously, Tom was down in Cornwall then, and we just sat talking about it, just trying to process it, because it was so overwhelming. Like we couldn't quite understand what has happened, like with the amount of money raised, and
yeah,
kept on going. But like a couple of my mates said, they'd be watching it before they went to bed, and then they'd wake up and then just start laughing because they were still rowing. It was like people have had 8 hours to sleep and they're still going.
yeah.
Oh, how good, when the sun came up, how good was that? That was a game changer. Although that was the start of a sad hour, but that was
Mate, it made such a difference though.
I know.
That sun coming up was incredible. Like I feel like we timed. I'm so glad we started when we did. If we'd started at like in the afternoon or something, and then like we didn't have that sun coming up for those last few hours, that would have been so much harder.
Yeah, it's quite funny when it's that the sun started coming up for you two, and I was just like, still dark. I'm really struggling.
Yeah, mate, you're about half an hour behind us down in Cornwall.
So, yeah, I think as for next challenge though, the 8th of March, the David Goggins. No.
I actually, thinking about it now, like, because when I read it first, I thought it was 4 miles every hour for 48 hours. And I was like, that's fucking mad. No one can do that. But now it's 4 miles every 4 hours.
Yeah, it's makes it a bit more achievable.
It's definitely doable. Yeah. I've got a few friends that are doing it. So I'm tempted. But I feel like I broached the subject to Kristen last night, and she was like, absolutely not. You're not doing that. So we'll see.
And then
I'd quite like to do a mountain, to be fair. Sorry.
Go on.
I'd quite like to do a mountain of some sort. Obviously, I'd probably prep a bit more for that, but I think that's definitely on the hit list.
A big one. What, run up it or just climb it?
Climb it, I think.
Yeah.
A big one. I just want to feel alive.
Yeah, I know.
I know. Like, because although it was amazing and it gives you a feeling, I'd quite like to be in the outdoors in like some sort of environment where.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it. Yeah. Like.
Yeah, man. I feel like that was something not to be kind of like underestimated with the row, is that like it was so monotonous. At least if you're outside and you're like trying to get from point A to point B, you have like a target. For us, it was just like sat in the same spot, moving at exactly the same speed for 24 hours. Like that made it mentally a lot harder.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like it would be much better doing it outside, doing some kind of journey.
Yeah,
definitely
in the elements. Yeah, well, me and Tom are both keen to do that, so hopefully, definitely on my bucket list after all this is hopefully finished. It's definitely on my bucket list to get out there, isn't it? Hopefully in the Lake
The
District
lakes.
somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last question from Alex Finks. He asked, was it easier or harder to quiz after sorry, say that again. Was it easier or harder to quiz competently after 16 hours of rowing?
Bless him, because he put loads of effort into that quiz, but I don't remember a second of it. I just I think Max was there, and I think Max was answering questions for me.
yeah,
but,
she was.
Like,
Yeah. Didn't you, Gareth?
I don't know how the hell that happened.
I mean, I'm not the best at quizzes in normal situations, but that was so much harder. Yeah, it was.
I think it was the same with the riddles when Max Clementson came on in the morning. He was trying to do riddles.
Mate.
It's like I'm not good at riddles in normal time, and I can't get them.
I'm sure he's a really lovely man, but when he started doing riddles, I hated him so much.
What did you hate more, the riddles or that pillow that Sam kept putting on his?
Oh mate, that pillow was disturbing.
Do not bring it out. Do not bring that pillow out. Oh,
I actually had to call my brother, and I put my headphones in, and you guys were on the live stream, and I was just talking to him about how much I hated riddles, and anyone who told me a riddle, I hated them. And bless him, he was really, really indulgent, and he listened to me just talk shit. And then at 10:10, I got a message from him saying, "Mate, all done. You can stop your pity party now. We've all done stuff."
I love that.
so good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So a few stats and a few questions there. I think thanks for everyone for tuning in. I'm sure you guys have got some thank yous.
Yeah, I think just thank you so much for all the people all the people that came on during the stream, like Fergus, Will Googe, Grayson, Joel. Thank you, Joel, for coming on. That was class for that. And then Reggie for coming on as well, and Finkel as well for the quiz. It was just top notch, really. And then to everyone that tuned in, I think there was a solid sort of 18 or so viewers throughout the whole time we were on, which was more than we were expecting. But thank you all so much, and it's a pretty incredible thing.
Yeah, kind of just want to echo pretty much what Tom said, but kind of adding all of those yard people as well who kind of snuck in and out throughout the day. I think one of my favorite points was, I think it was between 12 and 2 in the morning, where we had Ben and Max on, and they were both really wasted. They were either high or drunk, and they hadn't seen each other in a while. And I know it sounds like it shouldn't be good, but because they hadn't seen each other and because they were both wasted, just listening to them shoot back and forth between each other, just catching up was such a welcome distraction. Anyone that came on, I know there were points which were it was really hard to have people on, but I feel like if we hadn't had that distraction, it would have, even though it's hard, it would have been a lot worse. Yeah. So it was really nice that anyone that made the effort, and the people who were making the effort to come on at crazy o'clock were big shout out to them as well. And they all donated. Everyone was still just donating money constantly, and it was mad. It was incredible.
That was, sorry, just to say, I think that was the thing that, because I got a notification from GoFundMe the day after, and that's where it said 256 people donated in that 24 hours, and
it's crazy.
£7,500 were donated, which is ridiculous, and it blows my mind, and it's just incredible because I can't really believe it. It's just thank you all so much.
Yeah, really amazing. Really amazing.
So
I think as well, it's worth like saying thanks to you, Sam, because like I know like there were a few sound issues or whatever, but like on the whole, like it was like it felt like a really like well run, like people were saying it looked like it was like a really professional event. Like it was just Sam just like hustling to make sure everything was working. Mate, I feel like you absolutely nailed it, and like to be like literally just kind of getting the last of the chemo out of your body and having gone through 6 months of that to like put the shift in that you did, I think was probably almost as exhausting as doing the 24-hour row yourself. So like, I think massive shout out there.
Well, it was good to broadcast it, and well, I've got nothing else on, mate. So it's good, great, brilliant distraction for me. And just
Also, I want to just note you've grown your eyebrows back.
I know. Look at them.
Look at
I
that.
might even get some facial hair. You never know.
That's
serious
mega.
growth.
It's only been a week.
I know. What a week a week makes. Difference a week makes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it. AG, anything else?
No, I just echo everyone really. Obviously it was class having everyone on. It was a massive help, I think, as you said. But I think the donations in general make it all worth it. It's just a crazy number. So I think although it was a lot of pain and a lot of fun, that was definitely the highlight for me. Get to that number.
Awesome.
And actually also Gareth's happy hour where he just came on and he was buzzing and told us about the kid. That was also up there as one of the favourite times.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a good hour.
Great hour.
Awesome. Well, I think the only clip of the row is our mum filmed like the last 20 seconds or so. So I'll put that at the end of this video so people can see a glimpse of it. But just over 18 grand to Macmillan. Awesome cause, and I don't think it'll be the last challenge. I don't think so.
Nah, no chance.
Right, awesome stuff, fellas, and we're gonna keep the GoFundMe open, aren't we?
Yeah.
We'll
Just
probably keep
for
it
a bit longer.
another couple of weeks. So if people sort of catch up on this and want to donate, then we'll leave it open. But obviously, we're extremely grateful for what we've got already out of the 1,500 target initially made by Tom. So
It's mega.
Go on, the boys. Let's go. Love it. 20 seconds to go. 10 to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, boy.
Love it.
Also, I preemptively cancelled the membership to start this, so don't worry.
I don't have a comeback for that. Fair play. I don't blame you.
Tom, I don't know how you've done that, mate. I've just done half an hour on a bike and I'm dying. If you do 24 hours on a row machine. Honestly, mate, you should see the sweat dripping off you. I'm looking at you and thinking you look pretty fresh compared to me.
Yeah. You can't speak?
No, I can't.
That
Yes,
was
boys.
unbelievable, boys. Well done.
Yeah, very good effort. That's incredible.
Can we do a distance if you can?